Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Courtside with Beelance and Tennis, part of the Tennis Channel Podcast Network. I am super pumped to have with us on tonight who at the age of 22 has already given so much to the sport of tennis. This guest just graduated from Florida Southern College, where she competed at the collegiate level and is now in the midst of her first year as part of Tennis for America, a new program formed by the ITA. We are happy to have her on with us tonight. Please welcome to the pod, Gabby Hesse. Gabby, thank you for taking time out of your day and walking us through your journey.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, David.
So, I mean, it's obviously a very different time for everybody. But as I just said, you're started midst of your first year, new program, Tennis for America. You're a Tennis for America fellow. You're in the middle of a pandemic. One, for the listeners, tell everyone where you currently are located. And two, I'm just curious, you and everybody holding up okay?
Yeah, we are holding up okay. I'm in College Park, Maryland at the JTCC, the Junior Tennis Champion Center. And to start the job, I had to actually move out here from Colorado. So that was probably the hardest part of getting started because traveling during pandemic times is always a bit scary. But actual working has been really great.
And you're able to go on premises and everything like that. You're not like on apartment lockdown or anything.
Yeah, we're going into the facility Monday through Friday.
Okay. And the JTCC, if some of you have, that rings a bell with some of you, that's obviously the program where Francis Tiafoe came out of. Dennis Kudla also trained out of there, and Robin Montgomery is currently training there, I believe.
Yes. She just got a wild card for the U.S. Open. So.
Yes, that's true. So, yeah, great center to be a part of. If you don't mind, because this program is new, kind of give us the course 101 Tennis for America curriculum, how you applied for it, what's it all about, how many people got selected.
Yeah, so it's a brand new program, so they're still trying to figure out what they want the everything to look like. But to start, there's 8 fellows we have right now. So 2 just started in New York at the NYJTL, Junior Tennis and Learning Center. So they're working virtually, and they're working a lot with their after school program and helping grow and develop the capacity of that. Then there's one at XS Tennis in Chicago who actually came out of the program there, Austin, and he's helping a lot with the marketing side. And then there's 3 in Compton, California with Sloan Stephens Foundation, Gianna, Ivan, and Natalia. And they're working on different projects. One is helping develop a leadership program for the older kids. Another is helping with a virtual summer camp and helping grow the social media. And then Ivan is helping with a lot of the grant writing process. So there's a lot of variety in terms of what we're doing around the country. At the JTCC, Ava Todd is the other fellow who I've been working with. And we have been doing a lot of everything. So we've been helping on the marketing side. We've been helping do some videography and photography. We've been helping with some grant writing. We've been helping, we've been helping them put on a virtual gala. We're involved in so many different areas, which is really exciting because every day looks different and new. And one of the programs that Ava and I are really working on is a virtual after-school program so that the community outreach model that the JTCC has can be expanded and still continue as, we go into the fall with this pandemic.
Now, are you on court for a lot of these hours too, or is it more administrative upstairs type office work?
It's a bit of both. Yeah, we've been getting more on-court hours recently, helping with the red and orange ball kids, so that when we do get on court with the community outreach programs, we're able to translate seamlessly into teaching that age and skill level.
Got it. And if you don't mind, quick shout out. You mentioned XS. That's Kamal Murray. That's Sloan Stephens' coach. Kamal, as me being from Chicago, he's done so much good work for the tennis community out there, and that center is great. And they almost won World Team Tennis. They lost it by like the 8th of the back of the line is how the best I describe it. And I know it was great. It was great for tennis. It hurt as a Chicago fan, but it was great event for tennis. Why don't we kind of take a few steps back, because you've already done so much for tennis at your young age of 22. How did it all get started with you? Did you come from a tennis family? Were you basically, did you have a tennis racket in your crib? How did it all get started?
So my grandma actually played tennis and had a big influence on my mom, who has always loved the game but never played herself. She and my father both swam collegiately. My mom at Texas A&M and my dad at Georgetown University. So definitely the athleticism and that kind of mindset runs in the family. But I was the oddball tennis player, so it kind of skipped a generation. But I started when I was around 5 and just played for fun, doing other sports as I grew up. And then toward the end of high school, I was playing both tennis and trumpet at a pretty high level, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to pursue in college, and I ended up picking tennis my junior year of high school and went from training just a couple hours a week to a couple hours a day. So it was a big jump, but I think for me on my path, it really helped me avoid the burnout stage that a lot of junior players went to. So I just kind of had a steady build as I went through my junior career, which was really helpful for me as personally. And then, yeah, I was a walk on a Division II college team at Florida Southern College, which was a huge blessing. It was tough to be a walk on, but I was a part of a team that really had a mindset of growth. They really put a strong emphasis on character development, and so I was able to really, I love the culture, and it really helped grow me as a person and as a player.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that. When you were going through your junior career, was college tennis something definitely on your radar? And if it was, were there other schools that you were looking at? And then again, you started to talk about your positive experience at Florida Southern, but what specifically there kind of piqued your interest in really giving back and giving back to the community, and hence to what you're doing even now?
Yeah, so college tennis had always been like in the back of my mind. I wasn't sure if I was good enough as a junior player to achieve that success, but as I started looking at colleges, I realized that it was a group of people I really wanted to be a part of, and having that team experience throughout college was something that I really desired and was really important to me. So that kind of, when I realized that I could actually do it, that's when I started kind of amping up my tennis. I was looking at a couple schools in Illinois, actually Augustana, which is a great Division III
Yep.
college, and then University of Illinois Springfield. So, but when I went and visited Florida Southern College, I stepped on campus, and that Southern hospitality, everyone was so friendly, and
Good
sitting
choice. Good choice to you. I mean, you don't want these winters. You know, I'm from
the
Illinois, and
weather
you
is
do not
definitely
want these winters.
plus.
Weather alone, it was a good choice.
Yes.
um, did they do a lot of activities at Florida Southern that kind of gave back to the community, that kind of piqued your interest into all that you've done, through your college career, and again, what you're doing now? Was that something that was always stressed within the program?
Definitely, as like within the program, but also as part of the culture at Florida Southern College, a lot of the sorority and fraternity life is very focused on philanthropy. And so it's really cool to see, a small school, a community of 2,500, all finding different ways to contribute to the community. And that was the same with the athletic department and the tennis program. So the main organization we volunteered within was Habitat for Humanity. And that was really great to just be connected to the community and meet these families that you're able to help. And so that was very special.
Yeah, it's the best. So the listeners, they may not know, but Division II, they do offer scholarship money. So
Yeah,
obviously Division I, they offer scholarship money. Division III, they don't give athletic scholarships. There could be grants, and they can, a lot of students get academic aid. Um, but D2, there is some money to go around. So it's something. I feel like Division II, and I know we've talked offline about it, Division II is not on a lot of people's radar, just because I don't think they have the knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge about D2 schools. And I want to stress the message is that I want to stress the message that there are good D2 programs out there and they offer scholarship money. And again, talking with you, you had a great experience. Now, in this current climate, tennis, no matter what, D1, D2, D3, it's a non-revenue producing sport. And right now, all those sports, it's a dangerous time for those with schools cutting some programs. And just to give an idea, you know, with the D1 level, if you're fully funded, the men, they get like 4.5 scholarships, and the women's team, I think it's around double, 8 or 9. So what that means is not everybody on the roster is getting a full ride. So those students are paying tuition dollars. So now I know it's an expense. There's the travel and the equipment and all that stuff. I get that, and I'm not in the ins and outs. I don't have the budgets in front of me to see. But when schools make the choice to cut these non-revenue producing sports, it's not like these students were not paying any money at all. And I know you kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit as well. And we've seen some programs such as Winthrop, who've come up with a ton of money to try to save their program.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Winthrop Tennis is going to set the model for saving, you know, college tennis and college athletic programs that have been cut in the future. So they've done an incredible job in helping bring back their tennis team back. But it's tough because the point of sport isn't, on the business side, it is to generate revenue, but at the collegiate level, it's about helping build your students in a different area outside of the classroom, right? It's not just about making money, even though that can come down to it in a climate such as this. So it's really tough. We're looking at, it's not just tennis, but tennis has definitely been on the chopping block because it affects less students than a lot of other sports that have bigger teams. So
no, I think the non-revenue, you could clump the non-revenue sports together. Again, to your point, tennis, there's not a lot of individuals on the team, so it's easier, quote unquote, if they have to make a decision to cut. But like you said, you know, NCAA athletics, it's so big now, especially in the football and basketball level, that it is a business, and it's unfortunate for some sports such as tennis. But I mean, Winthrop, they up to like $500,000 they raised, maybe even more.
Yeah, it's incredible, the efforts of their alumni and their fans and current players. They just seeing that community come together is so important. And the model they've built isn't just about like fighting against the school. It's them working together with this college to make a plan. And I think that having that win-win mindset that comes together, I think that's what's really going to help save the sport. So they've focused on fundraising efforts throughout the team. They focused on getting more American players that will pay tuition and balancing out scholarships. They've looked at every aspect, I think, of how they can cut costs, but also meet the needs of the team. And so, yeah, I'm very blown away by their efforts.
Also, a good thing to do is have your tennis center, whether it's owned by the school, have that enmeshed with the community. I went to the University of Kansas, and they have the Jayhawk Tennis Center, and it's not just where the team plays and practices. I mean, that place is rocking and rolling with adults, kids, lessons, tournaments. So there's money coming in through that way. I know every school does it a little bit differently, whether they own it or whether the community owns it, but if you can get the community involved, again, the more people involved and the more people support, it makes it more difficult to just make a decision and say, you know what, we're cutting this program, I think.
Absolutely. Connecting the team through the community with fundraising and volunteer efforts makes a dramatic impact, I think, on your support system at the most local level.
No, I agree. So you're still in the real early stages of your fellowship program, so I'm not going to ask you, you know, how all your experiences have been, but I do know you taught tennis at Lifetime. You did an internship at the USTA, the National Tennis Center, which for any tennis fan, well, these are tennis fans listening to this, make a trip out there. I mean, if you're going out to Orlando or you just want to make a separate trip, it's in Lake Nona. It's a sight to see. I mean, it is like Disneyland, Disney World for tennis. It's awesome. I've been there and loved it. How was that experience for you?
It was absolutely incredible, and I think it's what really started me on the journey of wanting to pursue a career in tennis. Because going to work every day at this incredible facility, you see people having fun playing tennis of all ages, and everyone is out there, and you're working with people who are just as passionate about the sport as you. It's impossible not to fall even more in love with the sport, and being
Were you
able to.
mostly teaching there? Were you mostly teaching on there?
I
Or?
was actually working with the competitive pathway juniors department.
Okay.
So I was on the administrative side there and helping with like tournament preparation and developing that side of things.
Well, I mean, tennis is so lucky to have you, and you've already experienced a lot. I feel like you're just continuing to grow your toolbox. Your weights, I'm way older than you, and I still haven't figured out what exactly I want to do. So I'm not going to ask you that question. That's too tough. But I mean, just continuing to get involved in various aspects of tennis. That is your goal. I mean, there's still so many things that we're always growing. We don't even know what's out there, and you just want to keep experiencing the good and the bad, because I think it's a useful tool to find out what you don't like, so you don't get caught in a bad situation. So I want to wish you the best of luck. Continue doing what you're doing. Again, the sport is so lucky to have you, your other, what are they, 7 other fellows in this program. Shout out to the ITA for doing this program. This would have been awesome back in the day. And stay safe. Thank you for having this conversation with me, and keep rocking and rolling.
Thank you so much.
All right, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.